Deep Rock Galactic has you play as one of 4 dwarves. Each one has different weapons and gear that can be modified in ways that should be considered war crimes. This results in dozens of different ways that each dwarf can deal damage while defending their precious minerals and such. But which one does the most damage? For this video, I will list each dwarf's best damage for both direct and area before I finally list all of their best damage to see who packs the biggest punch of the bunch. There will also be a few rules so nobody gets confused. I'm only counting for the damage dealt in one shot. Shotguns and multi-shots are okay, as long as it's all in one shot. Pickaxe damage and temperature shocks do not count. And lastly, if you think there's anything I might have missed on the list, feel free to let me know in the comments. Anyways.
Digging's my middle line. Step aside and witness.
Starting off with the driller, his highest direct damage are his impact axes at 160 damage per axe. Yeah, I know that number doesn't sound too insane, and that's kind of because driller is all about his area damage. Oh, and speaking of which, his top area damage is with his satchel charge, which, at max damage, hits for 875. Sure, your C4 supply is laughably low and a little bit unstable, but that's just what makes it more enjoyable. Okay, so Driller's got some big guns, but let's see how he compares to the...
Let's play the smart for once, huh? It's all about securing the caves.
Despite what you might think at first, the engineer is packing some serious heat. Both his best direct and area damage comes from his trusty portable grenade. For direct, his hyper-propellant build can deal around 623 damage, but not consistently due to the damage being randomized. His best area damage will also suffer the same random fate, but its peak nukes for about 840. Jeez, dude. I mean, imagine being at the wrong end of a max damage fat boy engineer on your team. That would hurt, I think. It seems the engineers are forced to be reckoned with, but we are only halfway through this list, so we still have some room for improvement, right?
So what if I like really big guns?
Okay, so now we really talking the big guns here. Big guns is gunner's expertise after all. However, guns within gunner's kit usually involve shooting lots of bullets, so it's hard to find the ones that really hit hard in one shot. Luckily, gunner has a few ways to get that job done. For direct damage, his best comes from his guided rocket system, specifically with the salvo module and damage modifications. If you charge up all 9 rockets and they hit a weak spot, you can deal up to 324 damage in one shot. Mad impressive for the gunner, but unfortunately his area damage cannot compare. His best area damage comes from his sticky grenade at 130, which isn't much, but it's honest work. Okay, fine. A little disappointing to see his best one-shot damage to be this low, but he still has big guns, so I love him. And this leaves us with everyone's favorite.
Afraid of the dark? No need. You got me.
Wrapping up this list, we have the Scout. Known for his scouting and less for his damaging, you probably wouldn't expect him to do too great either. But for a Scout, he actually has some pretty heavy hitters. Both his best direct and area damage comes from his shotgun, and both use the double barrel overclock. With increased blast damage, the front AoE cone increases to 220 damage, while all pellets hitting the same target with damage modifications can deal up to 330. Pretty good stats for the Scout, I would say. Oh, wait, hang on. Embedded detonators? Okay, fine. How much do they do in one shot? 38. Okay. Let's see. 38 times like 40 bullets in the magazine. Oh my god. Yeah, not counting the damage from the initial bullets, the final explosion with a full 40 round burst does ridiculous amounts of damage. It might not be very consistent to land, but it definitely hurts when you get it to work. Anyways, I think that finally wraps up the Scout and all of the dwarves, so this is what all of their top damage looks like in order. Scout takes the top for direct and overall damage in one shot, while Driller takes number 1 for best area damage. In terms of overall top damage in one shot, Gunner falls behind the rest by quite a large margin. But it's okay, cause big gun. And yeah, that's about it. If you think I should compare some other things in DRG, or you just have a cool idea for a video, feel free to let me know in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe if you thought the list was alright. Okay, bye now.